Yeah. Okay, so can we start now, guys? I think only 5 people are back to desk. Again, I'm confirming if you are back to the desk, please confirm in the chat window. It'll be easier for me. I think 1, 2, 3, 5 people only. Okay, so I think let's get started. Any questions you have for me? Okay, can you see my screen, all of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, my time, please focus on my screen. Okay, so guys, we did the infrastructure monitoring and integration monitoring. More or less, we understood that how it works and all kind of things. If you still have a doubt, some confusion, please, get it clarified with the help of me. So it'll be easier. So time has come to get into the APM. Can we? Yeah. Okay. So guys, let's do little bit of assessment for APM. Basically, many people have a questions. What is APM? What do we gather? You know, how it is important. And actually, if you do this assessment, you will understand that APM is very important for all of you. Okay. So it's a self-assessment. Okay. So you have to answer yourself whether it's yes, no, or not sure. Let me tell you, if you have an answer for all these assessments, yes, then you don't need this session, by the way. You don't need next, today, and tomorrow. Synthetic you don't need, RAM you don't need, APM you don't need. These 3 sessions you don't need it. So the question is, are we measuring real end user experiences on your website today? Yes or no, or not sure. Okay. Are we measuring customers SLAs? What is your answer? Is our app delivering a consistent response time across users and geographies? Yes, no, not sure. Do we have any underperforming regions? Do we have any web performance plan in place to correct those problems which you got it? Is our site delivering a consistent user experience regardless of browser type? Yes, no, not sure. Do we know how our website response time and availability compare with our competition? Yes, no, not sure. Can we quantify how third-party technology and services such as ad network payment processes are impacting our site performance? Yes, no, not sure. Can we monitor and troubleshoot problems for your mobile app using the same APM tool what we use for web application? Yes, no, not sure. So guys, overall, what is your answer?
Current project?
Yeah, current project or any other, generic way.
So most of the things we do, but of course not everything. Like, of course, we always meet SLA, and yeah, of course, there are parameters which real-time experience we measure with some things, but not everything basically.
Yeah, so that means we should spend some time on the next slides. So guys, what is your objective for the day? So today you will focus on this question. See, you are the SRE engineer, you are a ops engineer, you are a CloudOps engineer, and you should know what is your response time for every customer's response time for your application. What is my response time for my request? That is the question you should try to understand. Let's say I hit your website. I don't know, what is your URL, but I hit your website, and you should tell me whether I'm happy with your website or not happy. You should find out, not me. I should tell you. You should find out. Okay. And if I'm not happy, you should correct those problems without you talking to me. Customers, getting the points. So that is something which is very important for all of us. So this is your objective for the day. What is the response time for my request? Look at guys here. There is one user who's accessing from the different location, different devices, different data center, different ISPs, different load balancer, different web servers, different database servers, different microservices, and one person is getting the response time in 300 milliseconds. He's happy. But another user is getting the response time in 7.5 seconds. And he's very frustrated with your applications. So what is your job? What is your job? Your job is to find out why this guy is frustrated with my applications. Why this user is having 7.5 second of response time. That's a disaster, right? So that is your objective for the day. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So guys, how to find a culprit? How to find a culprit? Where is the problem? Is it a problem in your Java code, application server, web server, your system, JVM, network, storage, microservices? Where is the problem? Lots of things are there. Lots of data sources are there. And, capturing all this thing is a little bit challenging. So lots of data sources are there. So then you'll say, Rajesh, why we have to track all this thing? Our website is up and running. That is more than sufficient. Why we have to do that also? Some people are getting the bad response time. That's okay. But most of them are getting good response time, right? So why we need to do that? So look at these stats from the Gartner. They did the research in the USA. 1 second delay in the response time can reduce the conversion by 7%. Conversion of sales mandate. Page views by 11% and customer satisfaction by 16%. That's a huge number. Only 1 second. More than 51% of your online consumer in the US said they cite slowness is the top reason they would abandon the purchase. That means, just imagine Flipkart is not responding properly. Would you do the transaction? No, because you will fear if the transaction get failed, then again I have to struggle for many days to get a refund. Correct, no?
Yes, user experience is the most important thing.
Yeah. When online service fails, 75% of the customer move to another channel, which can lead to millions of lost dollar. Just imagine, let's say you are morning, you are rushing to the office, and this has happened to me many times actually, almost every second day or third day has happened. So when I'm rushing to the office or study center, uh, for offices where I do the work and consulting and all, so I have to be there by 9:15, and then suddenly some app is not responding, maybe Ola is not responding. What you will do? Immediately I switch to this one, what do you say, Uber. Immediately I switch to Rapido. So you see that because of this performance, you do that all sort of it. So now you understood the seriousness of this topic. So now how to monitor distributed performance monitoring, and that process which call it APM, application performance monitoring. So what is APM? So application performance monitoring is nothing but a collection of certain tools and processes. Okay, so which will help the IT team to meet the performance standard and gather the performance standard and do the some analysis on that user experience. Okay, so that is something which we have. Look at this image. Look at this image. APM is very challenging nowadays. Look at this. There's a different customers, different browser, different devices, different ISPs, different geographies, different microservices, different third-party libraries, different cloud services, different web servers, microservices, multiple actually, and then database, web server, application service 1, service 2, service 3, and all so many things. And your request passes through all this thing. Where is the problem? Did you understand the challenges which you have? Where is the problem? Is it a problem in the device, browser, ISP, third-party libraries, cloud, network, web server, app server, database server, which services? CDN, where is the problem? So it's a challenging, right? All of you.
Yeah.
So guys, can you please tell me where is the problem here?
Because it's a distributed application actually. So because of distributed application, it's a complexity of the infrastructure, and user can access from anywhere. So and that problem can happen in anywhere actually.
Yeah,
So yeah, so maybe that the application doesn't have CDN, so then a study content can take time. So there are a lot of basically things can come on picture for this APM issues.
true. So guys, where is the problem then? In this slide, where is the problem?
Database query.
See, immediately you saw that this slide and you said, Rajesh, we have a problem with the database queries. And why database queries? Because that response time for the database queries, which is running by the Java code,
Yeah.
is 19,339 milliseconds. That's so huge. That's a so embarrassment. But my question is this your job to tell database queries your problem or something else?
If you have APM, then it can tell.
See, yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is, see, anyone would look at the graph, this reports, and anyone would tell, hey, the problem is in database query. And you just now saw that, and within a second you say, Rajesh, the problem is in database query. Why don't you fix this query first of all? But this is not your job actually. So what is our job? Our job is to build this graph. Understood now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Our job is to build this graph and make it available for entire project, and they will look at and they will solve it themselves only. No need to inform anyone because this should be this kind of self-service. So mind it, your focus should be to getting that the numbers actually. Okay, so what is the benefit then? So more or less you understand that it's just formalities. So APM benefit, which includes business continuity, reduced downtime, better end user experiences, greater customer satisfaction, higher productivity, decreased reliance on costly experts, greater innovation, reduce operational cost, higher Google ranking, intangible benefit, taking emotion out of the equation. So now the question is, next question is, how do we do APM then? So now we understood that what is APM and why do we need APM? What are the expectations we have? What are the benefits you have? All these things you understood. But the question is, how do we do that APM? So guys, APM we collect from the using agent and agentless. Now, when I say agent, are you thinking the infra agent? Are you thinking infra agent? Hello?
I think both infra and application is individual.
No, I mean saying that how to do the APM. I mean, sorry, how to perform the APM. So we have a two method, agent and agentless. So I am questioning all of you. If I say agent, are you thinking about the infra agent which you experienced last 2 days? I think it's third days, right? Yeah, it's third day. Yeah.
Post
So,
basically agent where it is running basically. So
so I must ask you to change this. When I say, please hear me out. When I say agent in APM, it is not infra agent. Then you will say what? So when I say APM agent in APM, that means this agent is nothing but the code, okay, code which is written in the native programming language as similar to application. Let's say your application in Java, so this agent will be Java code. If your application is running in Python, then it's in Python code. If it is in Ruby, Ruby code, PHP code, likewise. So this agent is nothing but a code, a piece of code, software. Now this will be running along with your application runtime. Okay, so here agent base, which is how to obtain APM data, the data which you see here, this one. How do we obtain it? So you have to install agent. Which agent? APM agent. APM agent is the infra agent? No. APM agent is a code. For example, in Java, it's a code, jar file. Where you will inject? You will inject within your application runtime. So this is a solution where you have a piece of software on an agent. If you will inject it within an application, and it will report back on what this application is doing internally along with the complex metrics. So then you'll say, Rajesh, it will consume CPU and RAM, of course. You have installed the infra agent. On top of that, you are saying the APM agent also you install. So this will, don't you think it will consume CPU and RAM? Yes, it will consume, but actually it's a very minimal consumption actually. But the information you get is priceless. The information, because of this APM agent you run, you get like this information. And this is a priceless, right? It save lots of your time. Correct now? Correct now?
Yeah.
So this is priceless. So this is called agent. Now you will say, Rajesh, can I get the agentless based solution? So agentless based solution, that means they will hit the network and port number. That means, see, if you want the network level information of the response time, if you want response time on the network level, then agentless you can use it. But if you want internal data, internal, one method calling to another method, how much time it has taken, another method talking to the third party library, how much time it has taken, your code is talking to the SQL, how much time it's taking for the queries and all. So these all are internal data and you get it only with the help of agent. So both those solutions are there. Agent, agentless. Agent, we do APM. Agentless, we get the synthetic and RAM. Will you remember this, all of you? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So are you okay with this, all of you? How do we contain the APM data? So you have to do the two work, install the agent, agentless, and these are the three things I'm going to teach you today and tomorrow half day. Are you okay with it?
So agentless, you mentioned there are two, synthetic and dumb. So what is these two?
I'll discuss this one. Right now I'm focusing on APM, but the second synthetic after the APM, tomorrow morning I'll focus, and RAM. Tomorrow half day, first half day we'll focus on synthetic and RAM.
Okay.
Make sense, all of you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so question is, what are the things you do for application performance? So first of all, you collect the data. I'll teach you. Then store the data. Then check the data. Stream the data. Archive the data and query the data. These are the things you will have to do in APM. So what is the end goal for the APM? So automatic reports you want, alerts you want, signals you want. And when the response time of your transaction start increasing, red flags are waved. When a transaction start failing, a developer already knows of the issues because of APM you set it up. So you're not going to tell what is the problems. Automatically, it should be informed to each respective team. If there is a problem, automatically the team should know and how to solve it. So now the question is, you will say which tool is the best for APM. So you know what? There is no best tool, I would say, because you know this. We are in a dynamic world. We are in agile world. Today you say this is the best. Tomorrow someone else say this is the best. Why? Because every day, because in the world of microservices and Kubernetes, every day the new functionality is coming up. Every day. So you cannot judge for the top one. So what you should do, this is a small checklist probably you can follow and decide which is the APM tool for you. So first of all, you should check the APM tool which you are using, which is supporting your languages and platform. Yes, no. Whether your developers are familiar with the tool. Yes, no. Whether is ease of use, setup, diagnose, fix. Yes, no. Integration support like notification like HipChat, Slack, Jira, GitHub, Chef, Puppet. Is it integration supported, yes or no? And then pricing, pocket friendly or not, you want free or paid? Even though if you want paid, what is your budget? So all this thing you can check it out and decide it. Don't spend too many months, too much of time to decide what is your APM tool. Why? Because just a waste of effort, because you spend 3 months of time to decide which APM tool you wanted, and after 3 months you realize that okay, the other tool have released lots of other features. So focus on your requirement and next 1 year of requirement, and then go blindly and use any of this APM tool. Some of the popular APM tool which you can see on the screen is New Relic, App Dynamics, and these two, and Dynatrace. These are the three. Okay, so three. But now you'll say, Rajesh, why you are not calling Datadog? So I must remind you, Datadog was introduced in the market initially for the infra monitoring. Later on, they get added this feature. So yes, Neuralink is very powerful. App Dynamics is very powerful. Dynatrace is very powerful in terms of APM. But now every tool is doing APM actually. So you have a Splunk also, they added APM, Elastic also added APM, and many other. Grafana also added APM. Name it, at least 10 tools you have in the market which doing the APM. So now when you do start working APM, then what are the challenges you face? The challenge is very simple. Your infrastructure is growing at a very fast pace. A distributed network, different cloud. Earlier you were running the monolithic, now you're the microservices. Earlier you were running the VMs, now you are running the containers. So number of container, number of services, number of instances is growing. Number of database is growing. Different people asking different things, and you are also fed up with that, right? So someone is asking, hey, what is my error rate? Someone is asking, what is my budgeting? Someone is saying something else. So you have to you have to help them everyone else requirement. So how do you fill this gap between the operations back end and front end? So you have to use the APM, right APM tool for doing all this thing. Okay, so far so good. That was a APM introduction, all of you. So far so good. Hello, I'm audible. Got disconnected or what?
No, please continue. Sorry. Can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now let's understand some of the common terminologies of APM. Okay, so now I'll just pass it this one, like number of users. I don't think so I have to tell you what is the number of users on your website per minute, per hour, per day, per year, per month. You will get it. Hits per second. I don't think so I have to explain it to you, but you need to understand. Errors per second. I want you to look at the right side. Errors means 4x and 5x, not a 2x and 3x, right? So these are the APM matrices, APM common terminologies which you want to understand this. Response time. What is your response time? So more or less, I feel that you all understand that right now. All of you. What is the latency? So you understand the latency of your request. So network call, multiple network call, distributed network call, uh, for that client to server, whatever there's latency. Connect time. Can you please tell me connect time? Because connect time I want to know from you. Connect time.
That is the handshake time. How much time it will take to connect to server or back to respond.
Yeah, SSH, right now?
That SSL handshake.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Okay, so bytes per second, that means what? That's a throughput. How much data you send per second, or how much traffic you send per second, that is a throughput. There's a more powerful algorithm also, like standard deviation. This you might have studied in colleges and schools. This is the formula. Percentile. Okay. If your kids are studying in CBSE medium, then this you must be very familiar. Percentile, average. So there's a percentile response time. Okay. I'll discuss in detail little bit of later. Average response time, and so much. Now this you should understand. So transaction versus trace versus span. Anyone would like to help me here? What is transaction? What is trace? What is a span? Anyone would like to help me here?
The transaction means is the transaction, the application related transaction.
See in APM, see transaction is a very generic word, but here we are discussing in terms of yeah, APM.
I think the request and response time both, including both. How much time the request is to the that server and the server to come to the user, the response, including both.
Yeah. So yeah, anyone else would like to add it? I just want self-learning mode.
Transaction is like queries we are doing, like action, like something insert, update, delete, or something like that, and
That's in
transaction.
that is in SQL transaction, yeah. That, but in APM we have a different. Anyone else would like to comment on it? Okay, so guys, this you have to understand, because if you want to do this one APM, then without understanding this one, you cannot move further. Okay, so this is something which you have to do that. So just a second. Okay, so we need to understand this. So guys, here here. Okay, so guys, let's understand first of all. First, understand that what is a span. Okay, what is span? So span means this is a web server. Okay, and then web server is doing nothing but just routing the traffic to app server. This is the app server 1. Okay, and this is the app server 2. Okay, and this is the database, and this is you. This is the end user. Yeah. Are you understanding this one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now what is happening? First, let's focus on the span. Okay. So what is happening? I'm asking one questions to all of you. Okay, because APM is more related to programming. So when user hit to the applications, which method get called? Very first time, which method get called?
You're talking about the get and post method?
No. Okay. So when you call the applications, the first method it got called, what is the name of it? In Java or any programming language. Okay, probably I'm confusing you. Do you know this? Okay, I'll show you, then probably you'll remember. Okay, so now go to the chat GPT. Hello world program in Java. Now question is, which method get called? Tell me.
Here's the main method actually.
Main method, yes. So guys, here every time when you call the programs, main method get called, and main method transfer to another method, correct now? Another method will call to another method, and then they call to another method. That is how this application process. In a program, you have so many method in a classes and subclasses. Agree with me, all of you? It's all about the collections of function or method. In Java, we call it a method. In a Python, we call it a function. Agree with me?
Yeah.
Now the question was, what is a trace? So guys, trace is between the one within an application, within a code, one function called to another function, or one interface called to another interface. That is called trace. So this is, what is your response time between this? What is the response time between this? What is the response time between this? I want to know. And this is what I was showing you one slide earlier. Hope you remember that. Here, this is the slides. So this is a trace basically. These all trace because it's inside the program. Are you understanding?
So actually, the trace is basically the one single user experience throughout the.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you got the trace. So trace is basically calling the within a program itself, calling the one method to another method to another method, and so on. So you want to know the difference between this. So this kind of reports, if you want, you need to have a trace. Sorry, my bad. Span. These are the span. So this is a span. Understood the span? Meaning of span? Hello?
Can you repeat again?
Hello?
Can you repeat again?
Yeah, so here I said the programs, you have a programs, one software. In a software, multiple functions are there. So first you call a main function call to second function call third function to get the work done. So multiple functions within a class and subclasses they call it. So you want to know the between the calling, how much is the time it's been consumed. So that is called span. Got it?
Mm-hmm. The
Okay.
time between
Yeah.
overall, you mean to say?
No. I said this is one span. There's another span. There's another span like that. Likewise.
Okay.
Okay, so now you understood what is span. So now just again. So the question is, you understood the span. Now the question is, what is trace? So guys, trace is equal to you combine this one and between the two endpoints. So between here and here, what is the response time? So this you combine whole things together, you get the response time. Correct now? Between this one and this one, what is the response time? Okay, so trace is basically between the two endpoints, whatever you have, you get the trace. So now here you have how many trace? 1, 2, 3. So trace is equal to this. If you combine all that span, you get the trace for this one. Are you understanding? That means if you want to know from here to here how much time seconds, how many milliseconds has been spent. So you have to combine all the span and you get the trace. Make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, so trace is between the two. Now the question is, what is a transaction? So transaction means combine whole things between the SSL handshake, web server, app server 2, apps database. This you combine all the milliseconds which you spend here. This is called transaction. So this is transaction whole thing for your, this is a trace 1, trace 2, trace 3, trace 4, and this is span. Now, are you okay with it? Concept of transaction, trace, and span?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to work in the APM without this concept, you will not be able to move on. So yeah, you see the what is a transaction trace. So I just explained you performance monitoring uses trace to collect data about these processes. A trace is a report that contain data captured between the 2 point in time in your application. The collected performance data for each trace is called metrics and vary depending on the type of traces. Okay, so this is a more explanations. This you can see that how do your request is traveling. So you hit the application, you get results. But do you realize that within applications, you have a multiple applications? See, your request travel to APM also, Java also, Ruby also, PHP also, and many more. Okay, so and then finally you get the response. So now the question is, what is the response time? I mean, what are the APM comprehensive list of APM tool? I must ask you to look at all these options. If someone will ask you, probably it will be helpful for you.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, we are going to spend time with Datadog. Okay.
Okay.
So this is something which we have to do that. But which is a leader? So I must tell you my experience. Let me tell you. So I like most which is Neuralink, Dynatrace, and AppDynamics for APM. Mind it, APM. For infrastructure, I love Datadog. For logs, I love Splunk and Elasticsearch. But yeah, I just said your focus is observability. Every tool is doing observability nowadays. Got it? Okay, so this is something which we have it. So guys, there are few formulas you need to understand, few formulas like AppDex score, percentile and all these things. So I'll teach you this one later because first we should do the demo. Many formulas are there. So all this we need to understand one by one. So summary, anomalies you need to understand. These all are algorithm, by the way, and forecasting algorithm, multiple outlier algorithm, DB scan versus anomalies and outlier, derivative algorithm, and many more. So yeah, we'll discuss a little bit later once we set up this stuff. So now, are you okay with this APM world, all of you? Okay. So now, guys, what we need. Let me get the image actually, because I don't need to create it. It's there already in previous session I created. So guys, here we are going to do Datadog APM. Okay, so APM, you have to also decide the language specific, mind it. So Java is separate steps, PHP is separate, Ruby, Python, .NET, all are separate steps. Okay, so how do we do that? So here, how to install, configure Datadog in PHP, not interested. How to set up Datadog APM in Java, this I'm interested. Okay. So this is here, and again, I must tell you here, first of all, to do APM, you should know the little bit of programming language, and then you must know the application server. Okay. So right now I'm using the Tomcat because that Tomcat we use the last day and we are comfortable. But do you know that how many application servers supported by Datadog? Let me show you. APM. Just go to the official documents, which is here, and go a little bit down. Now, what is your application server, by the way?
I'm not working from long time in an application server.
Okay. Datadog.
But
So
I have exposure to work on WebLogic, WebSphere, JBoss,
yeah.
Tomcat.
Yeah. So these are, I want to show the list of option. This URL immediately used to come, but now it's not coming. Just a second. Why is not coming? Data collected, configuration setup. Just a second. It should be here now. Oh, they removed this. Where is that? Just again, guys, I want to show you the option because anyways, Tomcat we will do that, but I want to show you the options. Datadog, APM, Tomcat, JBoss, and this is my tutorial only, but I want to show you the official one. This is one. So guys, see, this is the best one. So you should do it like this. Look at this here. First of all, you decide what is your language. I'm just teaching you the pattern, okay? So that you will not get stuck. You should not think we did only Java, so I know only Java. You know everything by now with this pattern. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to decide which APM you want. So you want the APM to be installed in the Java, okay, or Python, or Ruby, or Go, or Node, PHP, C++, .NET, and so on. Now, these are the backend code actually. So these are all supported by Datadog. So you have to go right now because we are compared with the Java right now. So we are going for only one demo for Java. Now in a Java itself, you have a lots of app server. Which are those? So look at this here. Okay, so now your application is running with which app server? So every programming language you have app server. Is it running with a Spring Boot? One of which By the way, steps will change, mind it. So it's not like one step will work for everything. So whatever I'm teaching you, specific to one scenarios, but you have to create a pattern in your mind for each one. Then Tomcat, JBoss, Jetty, WebSphere. WebLogic was there, but it's removed, I guess. It's removed. So I need to check a little bit later why they removed. Yeah, it's in integrations they moved. I don't know why they removed from the official documents. I need to check whether they have some updates, deprecation or something like that. Okay, so here they have all these options. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So likewise, you have to go to your programming language. Which one I don't know, but you have a different steps for that. I must again state you should be comfortable with the programming language, a little bit of it, of that APM language, APM requirement, and then your app server. Without that, it's very difficult to set up because you will not understand anything actually, because whatever the matrix is generated, you will not understand, and whatever the steps also you will not understand. Okay, so that is something which you have. What next? So yeah, so let's decide this. So here I'm doing the APM with a Tomcat. So guys, let's snippet this guy and see that what you need to do to create a snapshot. So first of all, there is one Linux box which you know, and then you have to install. So this is the step number 1, okay? And then you need to install Java, okay? And then you need to install Tomcat. This you're comfortable, right? All of you?
Yep.
You did yesterday. Now, do you have to install Infi agent also? And then you in Tomcat, you need to run some applications. Okay. Now this application, we can use example. If you think, okay, I don't want to install any external application, is just a waste of time, that and all kind of things. So there's a built-in application available, which I used yesterday also. So multiple application. And now guys, this is important. You have to run the APM agent in your Tomcat itself. How to run, I'll teach you. Don't worry about that. And then after that, this is your end user who will create and hit to application on 8080 port. This is 7th. So now what will happen? Look at this here. Your customers will hit to their applications. Tomcat will transfer the traffic to the applications. Applications will response time, and you know these hidden guys will keep capturing all the data and capture each request response time. It travel between this method to this method to this function to this function and all stuff like that. Maybe third-party library or maybe some other microservices. Everything will be read by this guy, very intelligent guy, APM guy. And what this APM tool will do, APM jar will do, they will push this code to the agent which is installed in the same machine, and agent will send that to the Datadog, and from here you will get to know each request response time. Did you understand that, all of you?
So APM is a kind of jar which we need to deploy into the Tomcat.
Perfect. Yes. So APM is a kind of code which you deploy in the app server itself. It can be a jar, Python code, PHP code, or .NET code.
Okay.
Got it, all of you?
But how the application will allow to gather those details to APM?
So this is running in your JVM only, no, Java runtime environment or Python virtual machines. So they have a control of everything. This code is written to gather the trace for that. That's all. This code is written to gather the byte trace and then span. This code is at that level actually. Got it?
The APM then sends the data to
Agent.
And
agent will send the data to your Datadog cloud, and you can access that data, whatever is been sent. And literally you will get trace all the trace, and if you hit the trace you will get the span, and you combine multiple trace. If you have a distributed application, then it's called transaction. I'll show you that demo in some time. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
So guys, this is the way we have to set up. Now hell lot of steps are there, so you don't have to get scared because most of these things you have done it if you have followed me. Only few things, anyways, I'll teach you, simplify this. You don't have to go to this documentation, but I must tell you, different languages you have to follow this documentation. So I'll do one thing, because this Google is changing the uh, uh, this one. Google is changing the logic search logic. So I will little bit, just a second. I'll update this page so you'll not get, I mean, next time onwards, you'll not get have us struggling. So okay, so this page is important. Earlier it used to come faster in Google, but today it didn't come. Okay, so you can check this file immediately and then get done. And these are all the steps. Okay, so any questions so far, all of you?
Yep.
So Tomcat is almost installed. Yesterday we installed, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
page.
Yes, everyone did it. That's the reason I was repeating multiple times. If you notice, hey guys, please install Tomcat because tomorrow's sessions and all be needed.
So just APM we need to amend it, right?
That's
With this.
correct. Yeah. Yeah. So I would like to just spend 5 to 10 minutes on this steps, because we are closer to lunchtime. So just go through this page and this page, and just become comfortable, and then, because I need a 1 hour for demo and little bit of configurations option. So now if I do that, I have to break that demo in multiple. So I don't want to do that. So just spend 10 minutes of time with these two URL I share with you. Favorite out also these two URLs in your bookmark. And after that, we'll show you the demo post lunch.
Okay. Hey, Rajesh, sorry, I missed your last message. Do we need to do anything?
No, we have to just go through all these two URL which I shared. Just get comfortable with the process. Okay, for 5 minutes.